So submitting your reports and photos. I'm just looking. Solar locator app puts coordinates and direction on the photo. Yes, it does. There are a bunch of apps that you guys can use that will do things like coordinates and directions. But like I said, it still need a little bit more description. That's the key for that. Okay, so submitting your reports and photos. Traditionally, or for the last many years, we've been asking everybody to submit their reports in the best way that they can. When they file forms, when to file forms, so as soon as possible, if you can get those to us, the sooner the better. However, like I said, we'll accept them, even if they're years out of date, we'll still accept them. And then we say send them to our office and your regional coordinators. And if you need your regional coordinator's contact information, it is in the resources packet that I gave you. And then and we have where to email them and all of that. Now, the shippo.stewardship@shippo.nv.gov is a good place to send us information. And you can still submit reports to us that way, or you can submit them. We do have our Google, our Gmail account that many of you submit reports to. That one's okay too, but I'm gonna show you our new way of doing this, and it's different. And it also will not involve any emails. So, and you guys are the first ones to learn this. Well, I've been teaching the regional coordinators, but you're the first ones of stewards to learn this. Okay, so we have a database called DB Gallery. I gave you guys all in your packets in that first email with all the packets. If you go scroll through, you'll find the ones that say DB Gallery on it. It's DB Gallery monitoring report submission. And it's a step-by-step on how to do what I'm about to show you how to do. And basically, I gave you in that, using that step-by-step, it has the password, username and password. And we're gonna select a bunch of things to get into the right folder. You'll create a folder, upload your photos, and check to see if they're there and log off. It's pretty easy. So I'm gonna stop sharing this screen and I'm gonna show you really quick how to do it. Share screen. Okay, so when you get to DB Gallery, which is the https://photos.shippo.nv.gov, it's going to look like this. And you're going to need to put in the site, your account name is a site steward, and your password, which I have on that document, and it's at NSSP@123, but you'll see it on that document. And then you want to sign in. Oh. It's been sitting for too long. Okay, now it's refreshed. Then you want to sign in. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like. You guys, this database is much bigger than what you guys are going to be able to see. It is got about 32,000 photos in it already, and including all of our stewardship photos, all of our program photos, things like that. And it's probably just going to keep expanding from there. So when you go into this, you're going to want to look at the folders on this left-hand side, and you're going to see the new site reports. There's a little plus sign next to it. You're going to click that. And then you're going to see steward monitoring reports, and it's going to be empty. Or it may have something in it, but if it has something in it, it means another steward has submitted stuff as well. Next to the steward monitoring reports, there's these 3 little dots, and you're going to create a folder for your monitoring report. So let's say I went to Red Springs on December 5th. Now you can put your date in however you're comfortable. You don't have to memorize how I'm doing it. But I need the site name or the site number and the date of the report, not the date you're submitting it, but the date of the report. And then create the folder. And you know that the folder was created because over here you're going to see that you are now in the Red Springs folder, or you can see it on the breadcrumbs that are down here. And it's empty. So now we need to put our report in. So we're going to push the upload button, which is going to open an upload window. And I'm just going to take a random file that's sitting on my desktop and drop it in there. All you have to do is drag and drop, and upload completed. Now it's done. If I wanted to, if a drag and drop was not working for me, you can always add files this way and then select the folder you need from the add files and the file that you need, and then go from there. Cancel this. So basically that's it. Then you close this, it will refresh. It will show you that in your Red Springs folder, there is your report. If you want to look at it, you can open it up and look at it, or close. And then once you know that your folder's in there and your report's in there, all you have to do is log off. Pretty easy, I hope. So that way you guys will not have to worry about trying to figure out how to use Google Drive, creating Google accounts that you don't need, trying to shrink your photos so you can email them to us, sending 10 emails of photos because you can't get enough in one email, or burning things to a disk and sending them to us. All of this, like the whole DB Gallery database, is really fast and easy, even when you have a whole bunch of photos. You just make sure that it fully uploads everything before you close any windows. And that's about it.
We've got some good questions on that. What do you do if the wrong file's uploaded? Can you delete it once you've uploaded the wrong file?
The delete function is turned off for Stewards. And the reason why it's turned off for Stewards is simply because I don't want you to accidentally delete somebody else's paper, like some of the other stuff. I'm trying to avoid accidental deletion. So if you have something that you uploaded by accident, you can let me know and I'll delete it. I wish I could turn that on, but on the other hand, it's
just don't send us anything embarrassing.
Yeah.
Or if you do, we'll keep it confidential.
Yes. That's the best way to do it. And it's just to be able to prevent people from accidentally deleting things that they didn't intend to accidentally delete that we can't get back. So it's more of a safety on that.
So Frank Adams said, can you send photos too? And this is an exciting answer.
Yes, you can send everything. So when you drag and drop into DB Gallery, go back to DB Gallery. So when you drag and drop into DB Gallery, you can take a whole bunch of photos, your reports, video, any of that stuff, and dump it all in. So we're gonna go back to our folders. So we'll go folders, new site reports, and then steward monitoring reports, and look at one. And looks like somebody's already putting some stuff in here. And you can drop anything. You can drop, well, not anything. You can put a Word document in. You can put photo documents in. Let's see, this previous one that's, doesn't have anything yet. So you can put videos in. Now, law enforcement has a hard time with videos, so sending me videos instead of photos is a more difficult thing. But if you have a supplementary video that you want to give us, you can. So the upload lets you do all of that. The upload makes it pretty easy for you to put what you need to in here. Just make sure that you make individual folders per site visit. So if you're going to do, you went to Red Springs on 2 different days, I want 2 different Red Springs folders. And that way your photos don't get mixed up between the 2 different visits. The same thing goes if you go to 5 different sites and 5 different folders inside of this stewardship monitoring folder. And that way your photo, I don't have to try to figure out which photos go with which sites, because I had a steward who went and baseline like 5 sites in Elko, and I have never been to any of the sites in Elko, and sent me all of the photos, and no photo log and 3 monitoring reports, or 5 monitoring reports. And I was like, can you at least tell me which photos go with which monitoring reports? And she never got back to me. So that was like 150 photos or something big like that, it was hard for me to file because I didn't know where to put them. So,
okay, so
help me out on that.
Yeah, there's some, for the sake of time. So Perry, yes, baseline photos should be updated all at once. No, you can do it in sections. You can do, because some people have really large sites and you want to do just, say you did the north part of your site as a baseline 1 visit and a south part of your site as a baseline in another visit. So that's okay. You just want to get all of it taken care of. And then, do you want prior submitted reports entered? No, please don't.
No.
We already have them filed away and we don't want to create duplicates.
So this is an example of dropping a whole bunch of photos into it. It takes a little. So from Kathy, so she's got it set up. She's stewards in Lincoln County where she emails her reports, not just to Samantha, but also to the archaeologist, Harry. Yeah. So she wants to know if Harry's going to have access to this database. Absolutely.
Yeah, so they're going to be onboarded and they're going to have access to all of their sites that are in the database, including the new monitoring reports and the old ones. So they get all that legacy data that you guys have been submitting.
Yeah. That's why we don't want you to put old stuff in, because it's already in there. These are the same file folders that we've always kept our stuff in. That the rest of the database is full of all those old file folders with all those photos already. So we just need the new stuff from you guys.
Yeah, and then Nancy Humphrey says she doesn't understand drag and drop. From where and how do you drag? Nancy, if you have files on your desktop, for example, you'll hover over it, click on it, and then physically like drag that file over and put it over the box. And then when you let go, it'll start showing that it's uploading.
Okay, so right now when I'm uploading, I have a report for the Spring Mountain, and I selected all the photos that were in my folder, and I took them and I dragged them and I dropped them into this screen. And now it's uploading those. So all you have to do is basically highlight them, move them, drop them, and it will upload those. And if you can't do that, there's also to add files, and you can go through the file structure and specifically collect what you want.
Right. That is, so Nancy, I would say play with it a little bit, you know, create a folder, try and do stuff. If you have a hard time, since you can't delete stuff, let Samantha know that you created a folder and that she needs to delete it if it didn't work out for you. You know, maybe even let Samantha know you're going to give it a try, and then she can delete stuff as you go. Cherry has a question. I know a lot of people that use their iPads instead of a desktop. So can you use this using an Apple iPad?
Yes. This website, this is a website. So you go to the website, which is the https://photos.shippo.nv.gov, and you log in, and you can you can copy them from wherever you have them and paste them in here, or drag and drop, or be able to do all this. It's supposed to be usable by phone and iPad and whatever. And if you have any problems whatsoever because of your technology, let me know, because I'm working directly with the guys who built this thing, and I'll tell them, hey, we're having problems with iPad access, and see what they have to say on it. So you should be able to do all of this from your iPad.
Would it possibly be a little different than your directions that you provided everybody?
I have no idea. I hope so. I hope it's not. But I don't know because don't have any way to test that myself.
Yeah, and I know that I have a hard time, Cherry's the one who asked the question, when I'm on my iPhone or on my iPad, being able to attach files to things. So Cherry, if you find that you can't get this to work, or Bob is another person who does it that I know, yeah, just let us know, like you said, and that would be great. And then we can create a new user flow chart for people to follow, and that way make it easier for everybody.
Have we answered all the questions in the question and answer?
Oh, you know, if you,
sorry. If you wanted to set that up so people could practice, why couldn't they just put practice as the name of the folder with their name, and then never upload that, it'll get deleted.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a couple concerns. Will you have access to all the folders on the site, or just your previous folders?
You won't have access to any of the folders.
No, once she gets that folder submitted, she's going to move it to a protected area. And that answers the next question was, will you be able to see other reports from other stewards?
No. We figured out that if I gave each and every one of you a unique login that had special permissions, since we have over 350 stewards, that would be so time consuming on my end that I would only be setting permissions for everybody. So so we won't be doing that. The only thing you're going to be able to have access to if you ask for, hopefully in the future, we're going to have the site assignment forms on here, and they're going to have an old baseline that you can look at, but you won't be able to see your old reports or other people's reports. I just don't have a way for that to be reasonable.
So it's not a substitute for you guys keeping your own records to reference.
Yeah.
Because that would be nice, but we can't really make it work that way. The next question is, do regional coordinators get reports uploaded to DB Gallery? Do they have access?
Yes. I have spent the last 2 weeks working with the regional coordinators to be able to give them access and then discussing with them how it's going to work. So here's the process on my end. You guys are going to submit your stuff into that folder. I'm going to take that stuff in that folder and move it to a folder that the general public does not have, or the stewards in general don't have access to. From that folder, I know everything in that folder needs to be gone through, so I need to go through it. And the reports are going to need to be downloaded so I can send them to the agency. So the agency will get your reports like they have in the past. And the regional coordinators will be informed that there is a folder that somebody went on a site visit to that site. So all of those things will happen after you submit them, just as will happen after you submit them. It's just now, instead of you telling the regional coordinator, hey, this is what's going on, you're sending it all to me, and I'm telling the regional coordinator, hey, there's a new report in there, and here's an issue or whatever with it. And that way, they can help me out like they always have. And I've been working with them each individually to get them to help me out and have them have an idea of what's there and how to use it. And then I'm going to be doing the same thing with all the agency people so that they can see all the old reports and everything themselves. And the regional coordinators can see all the old reports and everything for their areas. I just don't have the ability to give everybody that kind of selected access.
Sorry. Photos, this is Adam. Photos must be local to your computer or device to upload to DB Gallery. Drag and dropping from a web page like photos.google.com will not work.
Yeah, so, and that's actually good to know. Thank you. But yeah, you need to have access to the folder on your computer to be able to move it. Oh, and so everybody, if you haven't, in your emails, so I sent you an email that announced this class and had a whole bunch of packets in it. One of the packets in there, and I will resend it, in the future as we get further along, but you guys are the first group to get this information. One of those packets, it says DB Gallery Monitoring Report Submission, and it has a step-by-step guide. If you don't find that packet and you want me to send it to you separately, I'm happy to do so. It has the name and password on there, and then shows you how to create a folder for your site visit and put everything in it and all of that.
And Samantha, Elko still doesn't have a volunteer coordinator. They just are using the agency person, correct?
Yes. Dan's been doing all the work.
Trying to get, because I'm getting them on the questions and in the chat.
It's okay. I figured there were going to be a bunch of questions on this one because it's a big leap. No, the beautiful thing about this means that our photos, we don't have to worry about the size of the photos, because once you've uploaded them, it might take you a little while to upload them, but once you've uploaded them, then I'm not emailing them to people. Instead, what I'm doing is telling the agency people and the regional coordinators that there are photos there so they can look at them. And that helps because we have a really hard time when you submit photos for me to get those photos from my office to the agency archaeologist's office. And that's always been a problem. And it's been very difficult. So this actually solves a massive problem on our part of being able to share that information.
And don't hesitate to ask questions, since you guys are like the first batch of volunteer site stewards to go through this. Don't get frustrated and, over something like this. It's not worth getting frustrated over. Give it, like Greg said, put your testing folder in there and play with it, and it's going to work for you or it's not. And if it's not working for you and you want additional help, just ask for it. With Zoom and the fact that you're on it right now, we can set up a Zoom meeting where Samantha, you can share your screen and she can walk you through it, or we share a screen and go through it one by one. So don't worry about it, but give it a shot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, hopefully this will, since everybody, like when I did that poll and there were so many people who said that submission is a big problem, I'm hoping that this will help with submission, and that it will not be as big of a problem in the future. This was the most efficient way for us to be able to do this with what we have and the information we have and the electronics we have and the money we have.